Good afternoon and welcome to Take Action News with David Shuster. This is executive producer Daniel Marins in the studio. Guest hosting this week because David Shuster, we wish him a great congratulations. He and Kira Rennert have a new baby girl. Ayala Danielle Rennert Shuster. The world is one Schuster better today, folks, and we send him our best wishes and congratulations. David may be making a cameo later in the show. I want to give a shout out to all of our listeners in Chicago and Columbus, here in the Washington, D.C. area where we're broadcasting from the We Act Radio studios, and of course across the country. You can watch us on our YouTube feed on youtube.com/TakeActionNewsTV. Follow us on Twitter at TakeActionNews. On Facebook, facebook.com/TakeActionNews. You're going to see all of the links to everything that we're doing. We're going to send out a lot of Take Action links today. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We have an amazing show ahead of us, and we're going to be talking a little bit later about the labor history tour that's going on across the country. We're going to be checking in with Rick Smith. He's got fascinating information. They're going to be talking to us from New Mexico, telling us a little bit about some of the things that they saw in West Texas at the Bush Presidential Library in around Dallas. And of course, we're going to be talking with Sarah Anderson from the Institute for Policy Studies about a new report on corporate tax dodging, how the folks at Fix the Debt, who are claiming that they're proposing a balanced tax reform proposal, actually stand to propose something that would generate billions for the companies that they represent. And then later, Alan Rosenblatt is going to be talking with the man behind the Twitter accounts, the fake Twitter accounts for Edward Snowden, the NSA leaker, and a fake Twitter account for Glenn Greenwald was the name of the Twitter account that was blowing up Twitter. It has been discovered by some already, including Adam Weinstein and Adrian Chen of Gawker, but the man behind these accounts is speaking to the press explicitly and revealing himself explicitly for the first time on Take Action News. You're not going to want to miss that at 2 o'clock. But this first hour, we're going to be focusing on the news that has been dominating headlines in the United States and across the world. And that is the news of the National Security Agency leaker has come forward. That's correct. Edward Joseph Snowden. He's a 29-year-old systems administrator, contractor for Booz Allen Hamilton, working for the National Security Agency. 29 years old, but he apparently had extremely wide access to many of the National Security Agency's highest classified top secret files. We're going to be getting to that in a moment, but first I wanted to give a brief breaking news update from Turkey. We've been covering the protests there very closely these past 2 weeks, and there is breaking news out of Turkey in that just yesterday, on Friday, the Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan, did finally accede to some of the demands of Taksim Solidarity, the solidarity group that is operating in Taksim Square and has been occupying Gezi Park there, in a protest movement that started with protesting the razing of that park to replace it with a mall modeled on Ottoman barracks, military barracks, but then spread across the country into broader anti-government protests over the neoliberal economic policies of the Erdogan government and the AK party, as well as some of the creeping Islamist policies, crackdowns on public alcohol consumption, alcohol late at night, public displays of affection, things like that. Erdogan, who said that he would clear the park within 24 hours, then sat down with the protesters, apparently feeling the pressure, and said to them that he would wait to hear a court order as to whether the razing of the park, the destruction of the park to build for that mall, was legal in a lawsuit that was brought by this group, Taksim Solidarity. And even if the court ruled against Taksim Solidarity, he would put it to a national referendum. That was apparently enough to exceed some of the leadership of the protests. But the protest movement has remained in the park, vowed to stay in the park. President Abdullah Gül of Turkey essentially saying, go home. He was, of course, one of the more conciliatory figures within the Erdogan government. Now he has said, maybe it's time to pack up. We're exceeding to some of your demands. They're saying this protest movement is broader. It's bigger than just about the park. It's about the crackdown. It's about the crackdown on lawyers who were protesting, who were defending some of the folks in the park. It's about the broader authoritarian policies of the Erdogan government. But it remains to be seen whether the Turkish public will remain on their side, whether they will now lose the moral high ground, something that perhaps the lack of an organized structure there in Taksim Square and Gezi Park lends itself to.